Today I'm going to reveal my exact Pinterest content strategy that I've been using across my sites to get results much like this you see on the screen here, 15,000 plus outbound clicks to a website, and even more. It really is going to depend on the niche that you're in, but the best part of my strategy is it doesn't cost you anything because you don't need to pay for any tools. So here's what we're going to cover in this short video. We're going to look at the Pinterest Trends website, which is completely free to use. It's where I always start my Pinterest content strategy. We're going to show you how I find the keywords that I choose to create content around so that I can then make the pins and get that traffic back to my site. Okay, let's jump on over to the Pinterest Trends website. Okay, so we're on the Pinterest Trends website right now. If you've looked at this website before, you'll notice that I've kind of cropped the screen a bit so that you can't see the account that I am logged into right now. But if you already have an existing account, once you start getting traction with that account, you're going to start seeing things like this, trends that may match your current pins. I like to use this only when it has identified topics that I think don't have a short shelf life. So like I said, if you have a new account, you're not going to have this information yet. If you do have it, it may be things that have a short shelf life that aren't really worth taking on right now unless you're planning on running ads, which I no longer recommend doing. So what we are really interested in is both the top trends this month as well as the discovery tool that's down here below. That's really kind of a keyword research tool, although I guess I would actually classify it more as topic research. So that's actually what I want to focus on using, because this is how I actually start when I'm making content that I know I want to use Pinterest, to drive traffic to that content as the primary traffic source. What I like to look at a lot is both seasonal trends if I'm trying to create content for a seasonal niche. At this point, though, I think we're getting very close to the tail end of when you can create your holiday content, like your Christmas content, your New Year's content, just because Pinterest is kind of a long lead platform. So that's why I don't really like to use like what's trending this month, because what I want to see is stuff that I can create content on, and then in 2 to 4 months it'll really pop on the platform. Now, a good way to go about this is if you're not really focusing on things that are kind of like fads, but things that kind of trend high year after year after year. You'll want to use like the top yearly trends, because then you can pay attention to what time of year do those things spike and whatnot. But let's just look at the growing trends, which is what it defaults to. You're going to see a lot of things on here that probably aren't going to be relevant to you, because this is what is growing across all of the site of Pinterest. So for me, that's usually not going to work because, I'm not in fashion, I'm not in the beauty niches or anything like that. So what I like to do is I like to use the interest section over here and kind of filter things out just to look for things that are more relevant to my niches. Let's say that I am in food and drinks, right? So I want to see what are the growing trends right now in food and drink. Now, when I'm looking at this, I'm not going with just like what the top trending keyword is. What I like to see is a positive number across all of these columns here for it. So positive weekly change, or at least 0%, positive monthly change, positive yearly change. So seeing the weekly change go down, I would not choose school lunch ideas as something to, create content on. But you can see here, cucumber salad is growing. So that would be something that I would consider creating content on if I was in this niche. Fall recipes down here, even better, 300% monthly change, 40% weekly. We're still at 0% for yearly. So ideally we can find something that's positive across every row here. So something like pear preserved recipes is positive, pear butter recipe. Those are things that I would definitely look into using. Summer Mexican recipes, looks like it spiked like crazy. If it wasn't seasonal, with summer specific in it, I would definitely jump on this as something I would create content on with the intent of getting traffic from Pinterest. But definitely not one for summer, because that's obviously going to stop. Let's look now at, say you wanted to see just a seasonal trend, right? So we changed that to seasonal, and we've stayed in food and drinks here. So we can see fall Starbucks drinks. Looks pretty good until you get to the yearly change, so that's not something we want to go on. But football snacks here, look at this. This change is crazy for every column here. If you have a site that is in any way connected to football snacks, I would definitely jump on this because these numbers look great. And football, it's just starting, right? So it's going to last a while. You're not going to have to worry about missing, that high point for the trend. So if I find something I like, I just click on it because you get more data when you do that. You can see how it trends throughout the year. You can see we've spiked here the week ending August 28th. Looks like it first started going up last year, looks like January and this time. So we're actually at a higher score right now for searches than we were a year ago. This is a lot like Google Trends, where you can change the dates that you want and stuff like that. You just can't go back in time as far as you can with Google Trends. One of the things I use a lot are the related trends. So let's say we know we're making some content on football snacks, but what kind of football snacks? What else is trending? And you can see the keywords down here below. Finger foods, football Sunday food, appetizers, football themed food. And as you add more of these to your search here, you can remove some by clicking the X. But it's going to change your data down below. So for me personally, what I like to do is one keyword at the top at a time, because, and here's what's interesting, we scroll down here, popular pins. So Pinterest is like doing the hard work for you. They're showing you, here's what's popular, here's what we like, to promote at the top of the search. So all you have to do is click through these and do something similar, put your own spin on it, maybe make it look a little better, and that's it. That's all you have to do. And I'll show you what happens here if we just click through this first one here. It's going to bring up just the general Pinterest page. And let me just close this pop-up here. So we can see here, same stuff that we just saw on the previous screen. Like I said, scroll through here. Healthy football snacks, low-carb football snacks, cheap and easy appetizers. These are the kinds of things that you're going to want to create your content on. And then, like I said, pay close attention to what the designs are on these pins. Do something kind of similar. Try to improve it, though, if you can. And that's really all you're going to have to do with your content strategy. It really is that simple. Another thing to keep in mind here when you click through to look at these pins is, Pinterest puts all of this stuff at the top for you, so you can niche down even further if you want to do that. So maybe you're focused on kids sports, right? So you want football snacks, but you want them to be relevant for kids after the game. So that was when you would use something like that. And this is like one of those things they call Pinterest interest, right? So that would just basically take you on a little more deeper into the niche here. Game day appetizers with bacon, for instance, you can see it's more niched down. And that's actually how I plan my content strategy for my site when I want Pinterest to be, the primary traffic driver to that site. It's all about basically creating content on your site that you already know it's going to do well on Pinterest, right? And like I said, you don't have to pay to use, the Pinterest Trends tool. It's completely free. All you need is a Pinterest account. And it doesn't matter, say, if you're using a Pinterest account for a sports site, like we're looking at sports keywords right now, but you're doing research for maybe a beauty site. It doesn't matter. As long as you have an account and you can log into Pinterest Trends, then you're good to go. And then basically create your content, create a pin that is relevant, and pin it to a keyword optimized board, and that's it. That's really all that you have to do. I will tell you though that doing this keyword research on Pinterest Trends, it can be, a little tedious. So that's something to keep in mind, basically if you're setting aside some time to do your keyword research, as part of your content strategy. It's not going to be a super quick process, more than likely, because you're going to want to go a little deeper and click through these and determine if it's something that you really want to make content on, something that you can get good images for, things like that. And like I said, no need to pay for any tools to do this. This is 100% free, something you can do on your own. And if you don't have time to do this kind of work on the content that you're creating for your site, the Growth Cupid team actually does social first content, and this is the exact process that we use to do this. So if that's something that you're interested in, I'll drop the link to that service down below. And you can get 15% off of that at any time with the code SkipBlessed. I'll also put that code down below for you. We also do just Pinterest management if you need people to actually pin the content for you. But otherwise, if you're on a tight budget, you can totally do this on your own without spending a dime. And like I said, this is exactly how I do my content strategies for Pinterest for my own websites. If you have any questions about this, go ahead and drop a comment and let me know, and I'll give you an answer. And if I don't know the answer, I'll try to find it for you.